Hi guys. So with this whole FTX debacle, it has once again put the spotlight back onto crypto, whether or not it's safe and the risks involved when trading or speculating within this crypto space. Now, Sam Bankman-Fried has been arrested in the Bahamas, which might not be the best thing at all. The reason being, he is about to go in front of Congress, where he's supposed to testify, and he could actually then be charged with a crime. The other thing also that is getting a lot of spotlight at the moment is that Binance might be under investigation, as US prosecutors are considering charging Binance and its executives for possible money laundering and sanction violations. This has resulted that almost $1.9 billion has been withdrawn from Binance within the last 24 hours. Now, whether or not this is FUD, we'll have to wait and see. Personally, for myself, I'll make sure that I don't have anything on Binance at the moment. What I want to talk about in this video is what is the implications of the FTX debacle on blockchain gaming, and whether or not, if there's something going haywire at Binance, what will the implications be of that. So remember, it's not financial advice. We are just looking and speculating on what the outcome or the consequences of the debacle might be. Right, so on DappRadar there was an article, "Blockchain games are resilient despite the FTX collapse." The article was on the 1st of December, and it's quite a lengthy article where they go quite in depth into the blockchain games and the effect of the FTX debacle. Now I'll try and condense it into a couple of minutes in the video, and so we can just get an overview of what we need to know. So if we look at this report, amidst the failure of FTX, blockchain games raised over $320 million over November. So Web3 games continue to be a driving force for the dApp industry. In October and November, gaming activity accounted for almost half of all blockchain activity tracked by DappRadar across 50 networks, with over 800,000 daily unique active wallets interacting with games smart contracts. Just in November, the top games was Alien Worlds and Splinterlands, with over 225,000 and 151,000 unique active wallets interacting with the contracts. There's other games as well that's been doing quite good. Play mining has an increase of 33%, and then also Steppen, the move to earn game or aspect in the gaming industry, is getting quite popular. So Steppen had over 2.23 million active users and over 700,000 shoes minted. That's a lot. Now, the popular app was part of the FTX portfolio, but the company founders say they have no exposure to the FTX situation and will continue to build the ecosystem products. The FTX collapse has caused a 33% drop in the GMT and GST prices. So it doesn't look like Steppen is affected that much, but that drop in the pricing might give the opportunity for people to actually get into that if you're not into that already. Then finally, even though the investments in the blockchain games and metaverse projects declined over the past months, almost or over $500 million was raised in October and November. It's also worth noting that many projects focused on building Web3 gaming infrastructure Examples of these is Horizon, Blockchain Games, and FTX Games. Both have raised a total of 190 million. This is true. There's a lot of new ecosystems coming out, and where they are focusing on establishing a complete ecosystem. Another one that comes to mind is Myria, and then also Gala. There's quite a few other ones as well. But yeah, there's definitely growth, and the FTX debacle has not hit it that much. So the key takeaways: in November, despite the FTX collapse, gaming activity had an average of over 800,000 daily unique active wallets. Wax keeps on being the most dominant gaming protocol, with over 340,000 average daily unique active wallets. Solana took the biggest hit, that we know, and the reason being that it was its proximity to FTX. It had in November a decrease of 89%. That's quite a knock. So games affected there was Star Atlas, Aurora, and Tap Fantasy. I can imagine that Solana took quite a knock on that. Okay, Blockchain Games raised over $500 million. Okay, FTX Games got more funding and investment, and then the total NFT in-game trading volume in October and November has been $55 million. God Unchained leads the blockchain gaming space. The card games trading volume account for about 64% of the market, reaching 21.6 and 13.45 million in 2 months. So Gods Unchained is definitely in the top games there. The team of Walken, the move to earn DApp, reported 2 million accumulated registered accounts despite the harsh crypto community. Grown over 100%. That's a lot of growth in the last couple of months. So the overview. So obviously there's a disclaimer. They just look at the certain dApps, unique active wallets, interacting with a decentralized application, and smart contracts. In October, gaming industry had around the same number of daily unique wallets as it did in September, and that made up of 45% of all blockchain activity. That's a lot of the activity actually being part of this ecosystem. So gaming is definitely a big part, and I don't think the FTX debacle made such a big difference or impact, because gamers would know how to store and rather store their assets on or in wallets. So yeah, so we're not gonna, it just says it's staying resilient. Looking at the unique active wallets, the top 6 gaming protocols is Wax still, and they on Wax has actually been an increase. As we said earlier, biggest knock went to Solana. Then one of the other ones is in October, Binance Chain surpassed Hive to become the second most popular gaming protocol, with a 3.95% increase. However, in November, Binance Chain took a hit and the protocol activity decreased by 35%. Especially Tiny World and Mobox NFT Farmer. They User base decreased by 12%. So if we look at the graph here, you will see the protocols. Wax is on top, Binance, Matic, Solana definitely the lowest of the lot, EOS and Hive. So this is another thing now with Binance being investigated. Sure, the CZ has come out and said no, they are fine. But if something were to go with Binance, I can imagine it will be a lot more impact than the FTX debacle for the gaming industry, because there's quite a few games on the Binance chain and a lot of NFTs as well on that chain. Then the top 3 games continue to grow in October. So you can see October, the top games: Alien World, Splinterlands, Farmers World, Benji's Bananas. So those are the top games. Alien Worlds and Splinterlands on top again. Vox and Upland, 2 worlds collide. So Upland, the AR mobile estate game, continues to be a downward trend in the activity, and October it reached only 35,000 active wallets. They did, however, announce a partnership with Gala Games, where Vox will be the Upland's first partner in the platform's Ethereum interoperability portal. Okay, so that's interesting. There is a Uplands and Gala partnership. Let's see. And then we can see in November the top games still Alien Worlds, Splinterlands, and still Farmers World, and then Benji's. We see that most of them are in the red, however 2 of them actually very nice in the green there. Okay, so let's see. Talk about the games. So is it the bottom of the virtual worlds? Virtual worlds projects has been in the descending trend since July. I don't think, and it doesn't look like the FTX debacle had anything to do with this downward trend, as it actually started before the downward trend. Okay. Move to earn continues on path of adoption. One trend that has been gaining traction in the cryptocurrency sector right now is move to earn, a relatively new niche with a range of products and services that reward you for your activeness. And the top of them at the moment is StepN. Stay on the move. They talk a little bit about StepN, and then also Genopets. Walk-in. So the move to earn has definitely grown. A lot of focus on that. And then over $500 million was raised for blockchain games in the metaverse projects. All through the year, partnerships and investments in blockchain gaming kept coming. And in October, November, another 500 million was raised just in October and November. So yeah, right in the midst of this FTX debacle, almost $500 million has been raised for blockchain gaming. So two noticeable investments happening in the chart on October 4th. Horizon Blockchain Games, a startup focused on Web3 game development, announced the raise of 40 million in a series of A funding round that involved large traditional video game companies such as Ubisoft and Take-Two Interactive. So if they can, or they got Ubisoft and Take-Two into this gaming or Web3 game development, this is actually quite big. It can make a big difference for the gaming industry on Web3. According to Horizon, they will use the funding to grow the company's ecosystem by hiring more staff to develop better products that are user-friendly and Web3 native. And then on November 27th, Web3 games publisher FTX Games announced 150 million in funding to acquire, invest and distribute blockchain games. Yeah, they will use the funds to establish a game publishing company to bring blockchain games to the mainstream audio. So there's definitely a lot of growth towards ecosystems. We've got two new ones here, FTX and Horizon. We've also got Gala, we've got Maria, Immutable X, Uniswap, sorry, not Uniswap, Falcon Forge, quite a few other ones. I don't know why I said Uniswap, but in any case. In the most recent round of funding for FTX, investors like Phoenix Group, a Dubai-based Cypher Capital, took part. Chris Coe, CEO and co-founder of FTX Games, who previously led Mythical Games, considers FTX Games like a VC fund to fuel the next generation of blockchain games. Okay, cool. Looking at the whole picture, we observed that in 2022, so far 33% of the investments go to infrastructure, 19% to guilds or incubators, 26% to games and metaverse projects, and 14% to investment firms, and 5% to NFT in-game projects. So as you can see, definitely the biggest part is focusing on infrastructure or ecosystems. And investment and blockchain games, a total of 8 billion. So 8 billion for 2022 has been raised for growing this ecosystem. That's a lot of money. Adoption from Web 2 to Web 3 continues, and since there's a little bit of chat there, but as you can see, there's definitely a lot of growth in the Web 3 and a lot of interest from Web 2 to actually go and adopt Web 3. So like multiple Web 2 gaming companies are starting to adopt Web 3. In October, Double Jump Tokyo secured a deal with Sega to bring the latter's popular Sanagotchi 1000 game series to the blockchain. So, in conclusion, despite the failure of FTX, blockchain technology remains robust and is the foundation of other innovative projects altering our financial systems and gaming ecosystems. The technology didn't flinch, provided services and allowed every user to send and receive assets. those entering the crypto space through the gaming or NFT channels may be uninterested in the collapse of Alameda and the centralized exchange FTX. What's the point? Unless the tokens were held in FTX, which is unlikely given that most blockchain games have internally marketplaces and stacking options for their players, which means that the tokens must be kept in a blockchain wallet. Without even realizing it, gamers may have learned the hardest lesson in Web3. Not your keys, not your crypto. FTX have affected everyone in Web3 in some way. People's trust in the industry has been shaken. So my personal opinion on this is I feel that in some way a very large percentage of Web3 gamers has dodged a big bullet. And what I mean by this is I do think most gamers have their assets, whether that's crypto or NFTs and stuff, within wallets to have access to them readily. So in that sense, I do think we actually, or gamers, Web3 gamers, did dodge a big bullet there. That being said, if the same were to happen with Binance, I think the damage will be a lot worse because of the size of Binance within this space. Now, personally, I don't think there'll be a problem with Binance. However, we can never say for 100%. As we can see here, Binance has got a big portion within this gaming protocol space. So that's just my two cents worth on it. But that brings us to another point is, guys, keep your stuff safe and get proper wallets, and then make sure that you keep your holdings different or in separate wallets from your gaming wallets. And by that, I'll make another video on how to do that properly, but make sure you keep those separate. You don't want to use your wallet that's got all your assets in. In any case, guys, that's my 2 cents worth, and thank you for watching. Like and subscribe.